What's up, Billy?
Hey.
Did you see that?
What? Oh,
It just went. There was
Why?
no picture, and now, dude, our computer's so messed up, bro.
Yeah, no, that thing's haunted.
One day it's gonna explode and kill everybody.
Okay, well, don't say that. I've been watching.
Luckily, Eric is the closest.
Yeah.
You know, so
I've been watching a lot of
shield us.
911.
Yeah, shield
I mean,
us.
I will
Fall on
gladly.
that grenade for me.
I got like patches sewn into my shirt
Yeah,
right
right.
now.
It's already happened one time.
That will protect me.
Yeah.
Like I got this.
Yeah,
So
that's
I'm
Kevlar
a-
patches.
Yeah, Kevlar.
I'm a few weeks late. I know Sean updated the YouTube to sort of do podcast a while ago.
We did indeed.
I finally changed the actual podcast on Spotify this morning.
Happy
Nice.
for you. Happy for us.
I went through all of the podcast
Oh my God,
episodes.
Bree, thank you.
No, it's funny that he said that because this morning I went through all the podcast episodes and named them correctly with the new name.
oops.
Oh, yeah, I didn't think about that. I just changed the name of it. So
That's
now
why
it's
we're such a
now
good
It is
team.
officially the Sorta Stupid Podcast.
Yeah.
It's on Spotify. Thank you. We have over 100 5-star reviews.
Oh,
Wow.
So
dang.
y'all
Look
have
at
come
them
out
go.
swinging. Yeah, please, continue to do that.
Appreciate
You know how
Billy.
long it took me to make all those accounts?
Yeah,
I should
Well,
get paid extra this month.
No, it's actually crazy because we obviously the vast majority of our listens or views or whatever happen on YouTube, which makes sense. Just because of us being YouTubers primarily. I think it's something ridiculous. Like almost half of the people who listen on Spotify have like rated it 5 stars because it's only a few hundred people,
Yeah.
and like over 100 have already rated it 5 stars. So
Have you rated it yet?
Yes, please rate us 5
Yeah.
stars on
Do
Spotify.
it.
That
or
would
we'll
help
kill you.
so much, like a lot.
In a
Then
video
we'll
game.
fuck your dad.
Yeah.
Also
That way
in
he
a
gets
video
pregnant.
game.
He'll have a kid he loves.
Wow.
Damn.
Also, it's really hard to focus with the dummy. Like, it literally looks like we have a dead body 4 feet away from us,
Yep.
but his legs are crossed up like he's doing like that Russian
Can I
like
see that?
squat dance.
This?
The
Yeah.
babushka.
The babushka.
Babushka.
Let us know and we'll get you that.
No, you weren't here.
He's
So
got an Eggman face.
you don't know
dude.
how much I like it.
Oh, okay.
we already
need to
had a
get- we need to get Bri
conversation
a
about
cube.
this.
I already
Oh.
have multiple purchased. They should already be here.
Maybe.
I don't know where.
Yeah,
But
I need an upstairs cube and a downstairs cube.
yes.
We need to be sponsored by the cube.
the cube.
cube? That'd be sick.
Stress balls
I
are
feel like
awesome.
we're like the aliens in Toy Story
like
now.
cat hair
The
all over
cube.
There's no cats here, so it's not
I know
cat
that
hair.
there's no cats, but there are multiple people with cats.
That's fair. You know what? All right, I can't argue that.
I mean, my
Yeah.
balls over here. My cube's over here.
Your
My
ball.
cube
Your
has
balls?
been
My
jacked.
balls are over here.
He's like, I love squeezing my balls.
My cube has been jacked. I'm
Yep.
sad.
You've been cube jacked.
What's yours
Cube
is
jack, bro.
mine.
Jacked, yeah.
What's yours is mine, and what's
So
mine
Eric
is not
came in
always
one
yours.
day-
That should be a rule we should change.
Yeah, Eric came in one day and he just like tosses me this like box thing or whatever, and I was like, I mean, that's a weird way to ask me to do drugs with you, but the answer is yes. And like it just like I pull out this gelatinous cube, and I was like, want to explain? And he was like, I was on TikTok. I was like, of course you were.
Of course it was TikTok.
Like,
Listen,
everything
I'm
we-
guilty
yeah.
as being influenced
No,
by
can
TikTok.
I say
easily,
I don't
easily.
know why, but like so Eric and Bree are always finding products on TikTok Shop.
Me and you.
Me and you are always finding stuff on Instagram. And I don't know
Because I
why.
don't
reads me
use
like a
Instagram.
Look.
I just, dude, my TikTok has been completely obliterated.
No, TikTok is garbage.
Dude,
like as
no,
far as like stuff they
no,
advertise to me, I'm
no,
like, I have
bro,
zero interest in
I
that.
get no products advertised for me on
What?
TikTok.
That's
at
a
all.
lie.
Bro,
Free
you
no,
are
very
is a
few.
product.
Hold on.
right.
I will scroll through your TikTok right now. I'll tell
I-
we'll
very
have an
few.
ad within like 3 TikToks.
Yes, ads, sure, but like
Homie,
I don't
you
get
are-
hold on.
you are-
I don't get a lot of products. But like the second we got within 1 month of the election, my TikTok
Product.
is completely overrun.
Hey, it's us.
Like completely overrun. I cannot get unless I go specifically to my following tab and ignore my For You page, I cannot get a non-political related TikTok. It's driving me fucking crazy.
You just
So-
click on the button that says I don't want to see any more.
Yeah,
I've been
that's-
doing.
that's
I've
all
done
you
that.
do.
I've been doing it. I've even unfollowed some people that like.
So you were following them.
No, just like 1 or 2.
That's why you're in that algorithm.
But keep in mind,
No.
I followed them as like they were just creators that would occasionally talk about it, right? And then of course it fucking did numbers for them, so it took over their entire personality. But like, I don't watch the stuff on there anymore. I actively hunt down like video game shit. And when Sparking Zero came out, it was sick, dude. My TikTok was great. The week that
Right.
Sparking Zero came out, I was getting all kinds of video game stuff. It was awesome. But dude, like we got closer to the election and my For You page is fucked.
Do you want my account information?
So
My For You page is pretty great.
You are
No,
missing
yours-
out on
yours
a
is
prime piece
different.
of advertised content. One of my favorite TikToks to watch. One of my favorite live advertisements to watch is them using the plunger on the toilet. That shit is hilarious because you go to the comments and people are trying to figure out why they're advertising this, and literally no one has realized it's a toilet that's cut in half. And they're trying to add, like, they take a plunger and they just stick it in there and they don't even try. They put zero effort with the plunger and then they pull out this weird, like, thing with a triangle on it and then they jam it in, they start pumping, and you're like, bro.
I think our For You pages are drastically
very different.
These advertisements are hilarious.
Now I want to see what ads.
I don't.
We need to do a
know
video where we go
what.
through and every ad we get.
No, I'm
we
totally
have
down to do
buy.
that, and I'll do it, and I'll plan it, and I'll buy all the stuff. I've been wanting to do.
Bree's
I've been wanting to do this for so
Nailed
long.
it.
I have probably 32 items in my TikTok
ad.
cart.
But these cubes, though, I'll tell you what, like, I saw these and I was like, perfect thing to have.
Still
to
have not
kinda,
gotten
like,
an ad.
Have a stress ball.
I still have not gotten an ad. I told you I don't get ads. Wait, I think I found one.
Just found one.
Is this an ad?
Anything that has
That thing at the bottom.
something down here. Well,
See what I mean? Like they're just.
No, that's an effect.
I know. See, I don't get ads.
I love my Instagram feed. Bro.
Yo, that's a great. Yeah, you gotta love those. That's actually really sick.
Back to back.
Dude, look, she's still
Back to back.
going. Look, I still have not gotten an ad.
That's crazy.
We just swiped through, I don't know how many, like 50?
There's no
No,
way you
but between
swiped 50.
between
Get
what I
outta
swiped
here.
and then what you swiped, because you've swiped
Right.
at least like 30. Still going. Yeah. Like I just don't get ads. I mean, not that I'm complaining.
Right.
Like I don't mind, although I do find some really cool stuff on Instagram. But like I don't know. I've broken everybody. Now this is just everybody
There's
swiping
an
on
ad.
social
yeah.
media.
Got an ad right
I'm
here.
over here just playing with my Nito.
Yeah.
Nah, it's like, dude,
But
it's
the fact that I went that long without
there's
getting an ad is
another ad
wild.
right there.
no, we've talked about how I have
Yeah.
cultivated my Instagram.
No, mine's pretty
to
solid. Yeah,
perfection.
mine's pretty good.
Mine is full of people that I followed when I was on Mixer.
No,
And I posted for the first time in 3 years, like a couple weeks ago.
I'll go ahead and tell you, unless like there was someone I talked to a bunch, if I still follow you and you're on Mixer, it's only because I forgot to unfollow you.
Oh, 100%. I don't even remember half of these people, but that's the thing is like my Instagram
It also doesn't help
sucks
that a
because I
bunch
don't
of them
even know who
changed
to
their
follow.
names.
Yeah.
So you have no idea.
No,
who they are anymore.
there's like a handful of people now where it's like I see them, and I was joking, by the way. If you're a nice person, I still follow you. Before someone just gets super butthurt, where it's like, why don't you like Mixer anymore? And it's like, because they haven't existed in 4 years, you psycho.
And they didn't give a shit about
I
it.
could
They didn't
give
give
you
a
a whole
fuck
list
about
of
us, and I
reasons.
learned that while I was still there. I forgot my point. Anyway, I hate Mixer.
I don't blame you,
The
dude.
trauma set in
yeah.
again.
Sorry. Yeah, that took a different kind of path.
Yeah,
I know
anytime.
that there is something that we wanted to talk about, but I just
Was
wanted
there?
to add in, the scammer.
Oh
yeah,
But-
we
but
got
first-
fuck it.
Scammer be
But
scamming,
first,
dude.
But
I just want my 5 minutes.
Okay.
Oh no.
Oregon is now number 1 in the nation for football. I just wanted to say that because it's
Sean's butthurt about it.
Oh, I'm not butthurt at all.
no.
I was the one telling her they were going to win when she was like, they're fucked.
No,
they're going to lose.
okay, listen.
I was
that
like,
was-
they're going to
I
win.
do remember that conversation.
if Ohio State
I
didn't
have
fuck
receipts.
up like they did at the end there, they would have
I
won.
told you they were like, bro. So like in the DMs or whatever that we all share, she was like, Ohio State's taking this back. I was like, no.
All they needed
I was
was
like,
a
Oregon's
field
going to
goal.
win.
All they needed was a
I was
field
like,
goal, and it's
I was like,
fucking
if you're watching Ohio
State.
State and Oregon, and you're looking at it from just a sports fan's outside perspective of not being a fan of either teams, you could see that Ohio State was struggle busting on both sides
But
of the
they
ball.
just
The
need to
defense
kick
was
the
tired.
ball.
The offense was overwhelmed.
But if they just realized the timer and kicked the ball, they probably
Yeah.
would have gotten it. But they didn't.
Don't do it.
I can't, bro. It's got the
No, I was
like-
saying don't do it because I did and I ripped it slightly.
Oh no!
I can sew
no.
it back together.
It's no more
Anyway,
than- it's no
I
more
just
the
wanted to
chill
say
pill.
Oregon also had their first shutout game since '92 on the road this last weekend. So that was pretty dope
Proud of you.
against Purdue.
UNC sucks.
proud of them.
We're so bad. We're so
and now
bad.
Oregon is number 1.
We're not even like top 15 in the ACC.
And my dad and I agreed that we will go to the national championship if the Ducks go all the way out in Georgia.
No, like we ain't got to pretend that's going to happen. Like we, like, also from an outside perspective, we've seen that Oregon, like they do really well up until a certain point, and then they kind of like once they reach that mainstream appeal, they immediately lose to someone they shouldn't lose to.
I get that, but at the same time, I want to have hope,
I mean, as a fan, I understand, but once again, the outside perspective is I'm just waiting.
But it's also like a once in a lifetime thing to go to the national championship when your team's in it. So
I wouldn't know. Everybody I pull for is in the ACC, so except Clemson.
I wholeheartedly feel
Clemson.
like you guys are speaking a completely different language.
No, what's weird is
what is different language about national championship and number one team?
I understand what national championship.
Oh, he doesn't know what like ACC means.
So
I don't know what any of the shit you guys said means.
Like the thing is, Oregon's now in the Big Ten. So football, especially, you have what's called the power conferences, which is like college football now has a playoff. The top 4 teams go into a playoff. 2 plays 4, 1 plays 3, and whoever wins those games play for the national championship.
So it's not just 1 and 2.
Before, they would literally just choose who they thought would be the best match for the national championship.
I see.
Yeah, it's going in one ear and out the other.
I was going to say, you forgot that we had a full bag of oxygen.
No, same. I mean, but this is why I'm explaining it now, because I'm in the mood. I got time.
Every time sports get brought up, you can talk about it for hours.
No, so essentially, like I come from North Carolina. Obviously, I'm a Tar Heel fan, UNC. So like, we're a powerhouse in basketball. We're a powerhouse in soccer, and like pretty good in baseball and softball and all that. So like the ACC matters in like those sports, but in football, the only ones that matter are like the Big Ten, the SEC, and sometimes the Pac West, but
Pac-12
like
before they took away all their best teams.
But everybody's moving to the Big Ten and stuff like that. So like those games against those opponents in those power conferences means more now.
Okay.
And so, like, that's like her team moved to the Big Ten specifically because of that. So when we're talking about those things, like it actually like it holds weight to fans that they're now playing each other in those conferences.
It's their first year in the Big Ten, which is also a really big deal that they're making.
Which also means so much more money.
A lot of money.
Like,
is that
a lot
like millions,
of money.
brother?
It's all about money. I mean, at the end of the day, it's all about money. Like,
so as you rank up, like, how does that work? Like, did they get paid at the end of the season? Or
no, it is like any
or
other.
Do sponsors just flood
it is
the
like
fuck
any
in
other. Like I need
up?
to send you the video because like numbers wise, you would actually be fascinated by it. But like depending on like what it is, like college football and like NFL, like so much of their money is purely based on like the TV rights and getting
like
paid by the networks.
Sponsorships and shit, right?
Yeah,
Like,
well, I mean, like NBC paying them to own the rights to the certain games, right? But like college is so big, they all like each conference has their own like TV network, like the Big Ten network, the SEC network.
That's wild
and stuff like that, So,
how does it work? Like, because I always assumed that they would get their contract, right, or whatever it is for the season. And then if they did better that season, then the next season they could negotiate for higher contracts.
No, not really.
So that shit just happens mid-season. Like they rank up and fucking.
No. I mean, like it's like, one of those that, you have like boosters and stuff like that, but like, no, these deals are made for like 10 years at a time. A lot of times.
Holy shit!
Where so they'll like we'll pay you $5 billion for the next 10 years.
You know what's weird about that? I funny enough on Instagram, I was reading something that I don't know if it was like Kobe or somebody that was big in basketball, that like he got offered a deal with I think it was like Reebok, and he was like, nah, one of the other companies will pay me more later, and like a year later, like fucking signed him for like 8 times the amount or something obscene.
No. They nowadays especially they know what they're doing because like it was like a big deal at the time too. I think it was on Winning Time which is a show about the Lakers, the Showtime Lakers in the 80s. And it was like one of those where like Nike was like an unknown product for the most part, right? And they went to Magic Johnson and was like, we'll give you shares of the company. Like 26,000 shares of Nike, which was like at that point almost like an ownership stake. And I think they said now that would have been worth like $400 million if he would have taken that deal.
That's nuts.
But instead he went with Converse because they were actually like a known thing in basketball or whatever. And like, made like $1 million a year.
I mean, I guess it makes sense. It's like you have the safe, there's the high risk, high reward, right? Like,
Well, then, their one of their first big signs was Jordan. And so now you have Jordan stamped on almost every fucking shoe that, half of what Nike makes, right? So
for a reason. I mean, there's a reason why Jordan's there, right?
Exactly. And that could have been Magic Johnson, but he was like, "No, I'm going to go with Converse."
One of the Ducks' biggest sponsors is Phil Knight.
Yeah,
because Nike was Nike was founded in Eugene.
I know that much.
Okay,
Bree has made that very clear.
It's all over the place.
But no, like Eugene. The way it works, like these conferences just make more money, and if you want your mind really blown, when you see like a lot of times, like take the Oregon Ducks, take Ohio, take like a really big school. Like you'll see them like in the middle or at the beginning of the year and like the middle of the year, they'll just play like some random like no name school out of like nowhere. They paid that school to play them.
I told him about this in the beginning of the year where I don't remember who it was, but they got beat by the team that they paid. Yeah, and I told him, I was like, the most insane part.
That was UNC.
Yeah. That was UNC. Part. I was like, this is like millions of dollars that they paid this team.
They paid them like $600,000 to play like James Monroe University or something like that, and got fucking schwacked like 63-49.
Damn,
it was so fucking embarrassing.
Yeah, that's the shit that is just.
But yeah, like big schools will literally pay small schools to get their ass kicked.
Really?
It's practice. Yeah. That's how they practice before the conference.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
Yeah,
that's kind of fucked up, right?
You basically go into your neighborhood and you're like, hey, let me I'll pay you to beat up your and just so I can get ready for a fight.
Remember that the kids get none of that money.
No.
That's so fun.
The school gets that money.
Wait, so you basically you have your children fight,
you pay
and you guys take the money. And
it's like the military-industrial complex. We'll use the poor for the gain of the rich.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't shown it to you because I kind of avoid.
Players can get paid now, but it's up to each individual player. It's called the NIL.
How
name, image, likeness.
What is the average percentage of people who play college football that actually make it into the NFL? It's got to be low.
Very
right?
No, like that's my favorite thing about college football, and it's like a well-known joke to where it's like you have a guy that's going to eventually become a 10-time Pro Bowler and Hall of Fame football player across from a guy that's going to work at H&R Block next year. And like
that is wild to think about.
And you just like, and you can tell the difference when you've watched enough football. Like it's like he's a good enough college player, but like dude would get shellacked in the NFL. No, I mean. It's like 1% of 1%, and then like the ones that stay in the NFL is like 1% of 1%.
That's one of those things where like that makes it feel almost more fucked up. Where like at least with the people that do go off to the NFL, it's like, hey, they're gonna get multi-million-dollar deals or whatever. Like, it's all right. The work they put in was worth the outcome. But bro, if you went and made your school millions and millions and millions upon millions of dollars by playing football, and then you just don't go pro and have to go work like at a random job. Yeah, that's fucked up. That you didn't make any money at all.
Wait, so if the 1% make it to the NFL, is that literally like is there no outside source or anything that they're getting people?
What do you mean?
Like, is there any avenue after other than the NFL?
Like, if it's 1% going basically pro, right? And the players, I mean, potentially that. Is there another avenue, or what happens? Like,
so about 1.6% of eligible NCAA football players are drafted by the NFL.
That's wild.
And they're able to maintain enough teams. I guess it is just one team with 48 people.
So you want to hear something since we're having sports? So it's the sports podcast. It's the sports episode.
Don't worry, we will get into this.
We might as well just call it the Sean Show.
We're only 18 minutes in.
So you want to hear something crazy about this? So like the NFL has roughly there's 32 teams, and they each get like usually one pick per round.
Yeah.
Right. And so. Oh God!
Which I mean, they're only wanting to draft the superstars anyways at that point, right? Like, but still, that's
what's wild is seeing a bunch of like past Ducks play each other the last couple weeks.
Yeah, which the shit like that's cool, but like the NFL usually ends up picking it's like 220 some people out of college every year for the draft. Now that's not counting like guys can be free agents, not get drafted, like. And still like make NFL teams become great and blah blah blah, right? But like the NFL is cold blooded because like what they call the last guy drafted, like it's an official name that the NFL themselves give the final name in the draft. What would you think the last person drafted in the NFL draft would be called? They literally have a jersey with the like
pussy ass bitch.
No, they literally have like a jersey. So like each, like a lot of times they'll make like the jerseys with like the round number on it. So like say like someone from the Ducks gets drafted like overall number 1, round 1, pick 1. They'll get like a jersey that has a 1 on it.
The best loser.
Yeah. No, they are called Mr. Irrelevant.
Yo, that's fucked
They are called
up.
Mr. Irrelevant. So currently, the quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers, Brock Purdy, was a Mr. Irrelevant.
I'd quit.
And he went to the Super Bowl last year.
Bro, I would quit.
They're 3 and 4
He went
now.
to the Super Bowl.
I know, but like, bro, I feel dude, that's wild.
You got picked though. Like at least you got
That
picked.
is true.
I guess.
At least you got picked.
That's nuts, though.
But
Holy
a lot
Why
of
did that just give you more motivation?
A lot of people,
I don't know.
Yeah, a lot of people think that's the end of it though when you are picked. But like usually the only people guaranteed a spot, even though you were drafted, is the 1st and 2nd round pick. Even the 2nd round pick's not really guaranteed. You're just most likely to make the team because you like 2nd round, 3rd round are still seen as like really good players.
So what are you like when you basically like 4th string then at that point? Like when you first go into
So oh my god, we're getting into this. Huh? So like as the season starts, you whittle down to in the NFL, you whittle down to a 53-man roster.
Okay.
Like if you want to learn about football in any regard, watch Hard Knocks. I fucking like anybody that knows football, like watches Hard Knocks is fucking phenomenal. So
I've
Hard Knocks
actually
is
never
literally
seen
like
that or heard of it.
Do you want to watch Hard Knocks with us?
I'll watch any.
I will watch
movie.
the fuck out of. I will go to the oldest Hard Knock. Let's go get a goddamn there are memes from Hard Knocks that permeated.
He's so excited he can't even finish his
oh my god.
He's getting on to the next topic before the first topic's done.
No, so like what happens? Well, the reason I brought Hard Knocks because like it is literally like the preseason, right? It takes you all through like their meetings, the practices, the preseason games.
My knowledge of football is
Blue Mountain State.
Blue Mountain State.
Blue Mountain State.
And they did
Have you ever seen Remember the Titans?
No,
They did not. They did
yeah,
not.
but remember the
That's
Titans
like
doesn't
one
have
of-
vajazzling.
They would play football, but the Blue
I
Mountain
just thought
State
that was a
not
movie
about
that he would
football.
have seen. They showed that in high school.
I think I may have seen The Longest Yard, maybe.
So, but no, like so the way the NFL works, like they choose.
I think there's one with Adam
Stump the
Sandler.
Yard?
I think no, I think there's
Stomp,
one with
oh my
Adam.
God.
Is there one
football.
where Adam Sandler is like the coach in a prison?
No, that's the Longest Yard.
Yeah,
He's the quarterback.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Long time. My dad was a big Adam Sandler fan.
So Keanu Reeves in The Replacements is also a great football movie.
Okay.
But the rule as far as movies and books go, the smaller the ball, the better the book.
What?
Like for the quality
Like
of book
for
and
the
movies, the
sports?
smaller the ball, the better the book.
So tennis and
So no, it's a joke.
golf
It's a
books are
joke saying
good?
there are great books written about basketball. There's really good books or phenomenal books written about football. There's extraordinary books written about baseball, and the best books are written about golf. There are no books about beach balls.
I think there's some books about beach balls. Have
Find
you
me
There's
seen
one.
plenty
Go
of
look at Japan, okay?
of romance
Japan?
novels about volleyball.
Japan fucks with some beach balls. Let me tell you.
In anime for a beach episode.
Exactly.
Also, you're thinking of volleyball if you're thinking dead or alive.
No, I mean Dead or Alive. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sure there's some beach ball related
But
anime.
But no, like your question is like they try to get down to a 53-man roster, and like how many position people they have as backups is like their choice. Most teams usually have like 2 or 3 backup quarterbacks. You always have like your backup linemen, and stuff like that. Like, the Carolina Panthers defense, we already sucked, but like our defense is decimated because like our linebacker core gone. Our best defensive lineman gone. Like we're more or less playing like we're giving fans jerseys as they walk in. Like our defense is so bad right now.
That's got to be like one of the hardest parts. Like especially in college football, it's hard to in every sport. Honestly, injuries are always hard to watch because there's like injuries that you can tell are like devastating.
Oh yeah.
Like what was it? It was either I think it was 2 weeks ago. Was it the Lions that the guy like broke his tibia or and you could see it wrap around the other guy's leg. His leg wrapped around the other player's leg.
Jesus.
Yeah,
On camera.
there are some like Damar Hamlin essentially died on the field 2 years ago. So
What?
yeah,
didn't
like
hear
he got
about
hit
that?
so hard in the chest, his heart stopped.
Yeah.
They resuscitated him on the field.
That's wild.
Yeah.
And it's just like you watch that and you're just like
This is all live on TV, by the way. This is nationally broadcast.
They don't cut to commercial or anything?
No,
No.
like they what do you do? Like you just sit there and like you're like because you don't know what's going on. A lot of times medical staff like swarms on.
Because they might be like, oh, his toe hurts. Yeah, they don't realize what actually happened.
Especially this season, there's been so many fake injuries. I don't know why.
So is football becoming soccer?
Conspiracy theories.
No, they literally stand there and just like fall down.
Yeah, they'll look. You'll see them look at the clock. And they'll go, oh, and like
that's
because they have to take an injury timeout.
That's literally what they do in soccer.
That's called flopping. That's to get a penalty. Flopping in football is to get the timeout, because if you get hit in football, no one gives a shit unless depending on how you hit them. But that's a whole different conversation that you won't understand.
Yeah.
No, Billy, let me know in the comments if you understood anything that Sean just said.
No, they did not.
Have I turned anyone into a Duck fan? I'm genuinely curious.
Maybe 4 people.
Honestly?
At least 4.
Well, that's good for me.
With them being...
I'll take it.
All I do is talk shit about the teams I pull for. So no one's going, they fucking suck.
People like to cheer for good teams. So this year they're good. Maybe next year they won't be. I don't know.
Hey, we'll see.
No, as a Carolina Panthers fan, we hate our owner. As a fucking St. Louis Cardinals fan, we hate our manager. As a UNC fan, I don't even know what the fuck's going on with them. Like, Hubie better put together a good-ass basketball season or we're going to start...
Dan Lanning is a beast.
Yeah, it's just sad.
So one of the best coaches we've had in a long time.
I miss winning. I don't know what it feels like anymore.
It does feel nice. It does feel nice to finally be taken seriously.
Anyway, let's talk about some of y'all's nonsense.
I'm so spaced at this point, I don't even know what to talk about.
Yeah.
The
Solid.
you guys talked about stuff that I did not understand for so long that I don't even...
The scam.
I need time to read.
That's the thing is, like, we didn't even dive that deep. That would make it hard to
literally everything I talked about is surface level shit.
Exactly.
I mean, you want me to get into the difference between nickel and dime packages for the defenses? Like, we can do that
Sean,
shit.
If Eric just started yapping for, I don't know how long that was, maybe 7 minutes. If Eric went on a 7-minute tangent about Path of Exile, all of our brains would be mush.
You got to remember, that's also football. That's only the sport I know second most about.
Wait, when you said a dime package, that's like 10 grams, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
They give those to all the players.
I mean, they probably have that,
yeah.
We got scammed by a couple dime packages. No, so we got
you can talk
scammed,
about your scammer.
So,
like, for
by the way, totally avoidable.
Scammed.
Totally avoidable.
Debatable.
It's okay.
So I don't think it was.
Okay.
I think
that.
once again, that's like one of those like hindsight.
I think if we were in the position we are now,
I'm so fucking hungry.
Have adjusted the schedule that we did, I think we would have been okay. I think that we have been. Our schedule was very bad prior, and we were recording nonstop. So trying to manage the people that we have been working with has been very difficult.
I think if you had the female of the group do a background check and look thoroughly through the people that
maybe that is true. Women hate women.
Hiring.
Yeah, so, very true.
I think I could have easily picked that out.
Yeah. She's like Jacob, but that's the name of the penis.
Yeah. So basically, for those that don't know what's going on, because we haven't really talked about it too much.
Rick and Morty, bro.
It's just classic. Sorry, go ahead.
we haven't talked about it too much because it hasn't like officially come out, which is a comic that we're working on. I'm just gonna fucking stop.
No, you're fine. You're fine. I'm hearing every word you said. We hadn't announced it too much, but there's an official comic we're working on.
I know you can hear me, motherfucker.
I was just laughing about the name of the penis.
The name of the penis.
This is why we're so bad at like getting ads made. Because anytime we try to do anything like that, we can't focus.
Well, we say funny shit and we make ourselves laugh. I know. If you can't laugh at yourself, who else can you laugh at?
That's a really good point. That's a good point.
Yeah.
So we're working on a comic. True. We've been working on this thing for God, I don't know how many months at this point. A long time since its inception.
Least 2.
No, way more than that.
I said at least.
That's true. But we have a comic coming, and we of course want to, with our main channel being focused on reactions around animation stuff, we wanted to look into getting it animated. So we were gonna essentially animate like a trailer, a small portion of this comic,
like 2-3 minutes tops.
Yeah, 2-3 minutes to essentially use as promotion to hopefully kickstart the pilot for this show. And so we bring on this animator who reached out to us through email, sent their portfolio, had a ton of really great stuff.
Well formatted shit, by the way.
Yeah, they worked on Invincible and all of this, and we're going through and they seem to understand what they're talking about, and everything seems solid. So, we communicate with them for a month or so. They're communicating with
actually, no, it was more because like you went a month without even saying anything to them there for a while because you're like, oh shit, I forgot to reach back out.
Oh yeah. So we get them on. They're communicating with our artist who is spearheading the project with us.
Shout out Audrey.
And, yeah. Woo! So we're going through that and everything seems on the up and up. They're not demanding full upfront payments, because obviously animation very expensive. So we were doing basically in chunks where we'll do this, they'll do all the storyboard sketches and everything, and then we'll do the next chunk and they'll animate it further. And she was very convincing. We'll be going through step by step. I'll be updating you constantly. We will make sure that you are satisfied by the time this project's done.
She was also in communication with the artists and talking about things in the way where it looked like they knew what they were talking about.
Yeah.
Maybe not from the perspective of an artist themselves, because it was our other person that noticed kind of sucks.
Yeah. So, they have been doing this, and then, they finally get in, and, it started with some character sheets. Oh, I have to redo these because they're not in Illustrator because our artist doesn't use Illustrator. And it's okay, that makes sense. Vector, yada, yada, yada. I get it. And so they sent us a very, very rough draft of a very tiny snippet of animation. Very, very rough, very, very, a few seconds, very minuscule. And it was so early, and us as we're new to creating animation.
We're also gamers, and we've seen things in alpha states that look awful, and the final product was great.
Yeah, right? and I'm always baffled when you see an artist on TikTok, right, and they start by just drawing some circles, and you're like, well,
this looks like nonsense.
And then all of a sudden it looks like a fucking portrait after, right?
Yeah.
So it was one of those of okay, trust the process. And 2-3 weeks go by, and we've barely gotten any update at all. And at this point, we had found another artist in the community because I pinged our Discord, and we found somebody who has been doing some basic animations for us for our stream alerts. And they were just pumping shit out.
Oh, dude.
In the span of a few days. Yeah, Mookie.
Sorry.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Shout out Mookie for making these alerts. And
they're new. Sorry, I tried to shout out.
Put the alerts on the screen.
It starts with an emu.
So that, they bang out those 3 alerts that you just saw on screen in the span of 3 fucking days. And now, of course, at this point, now I'm starting to get a little all right, well, this is a person who is brand new to commissioning art, right? They're clearly an artist, clearly a very talented artist, but they even discussed was severely underselling what their work was worth. And I communicated that to them, and they said thank you all that.
No, we're business owners. Can you work cheaper than that?
They are fast as fuck. So it was you're not even a professional. You're new to even selling your artwork. And this person is supposedly a professional that worked on Invincible and all this other things.
They were juicing, bro.
Something is not adding up here. Now, at this point, I get a message from one of our other artists because we brought in 2 other artists we found on Twitter just to do some basic stuff. I wanted a basic starting soon screen with our characters from the comic, and I wanted a little animation of our Billy coming in with the sign, which you saw. Because after we found out that those people were scammers, Mookie made it. And we brought them in, and these people were way more sus. Their cadence, the way they were talking, something wasn't right. And one of them,
you could tell by their profile.
Yeah, and one of them, I'm
fake.
Sorry,
the second he showed me their profile, it was
I'm sorry, I don't look at a picture and be like, that's a woman.
Once I saw their Discord profile pictures, I'm like, those are fake accounts.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, come on.
Because I get those in my Instagram DMs all the time as well, where it's I got a really good cam show, and it's fool me once,
I get
shame
those all the
on you.
time
Fool me 10 times, shame on me.
On my crochet page, I get those constantly where they're like, is this for sale? Okay, well, I need you to send me this and this information.
Point is that we were not having them do anything major. Yeah. And it was just going to see, all right, stuff it was well, what can they do? Now, one of the things in one of the person's portfolios was the exact same video that was in the portfolio of the original animator we hired. And we were like,
which isn't weird.
It's not that weird, but what is happening
raised.
here? This is a little weird. So I reach out to the animator. Hey, do you know this person? They're showing an image and multiple animators work on projects. Like that's not uncommon.
I mean, you look at indie animation and like
there's 20, 30 people on it.
Yeah.
It's not that surprising that two people would work on the same project. And, she's like, I know them, worked with them a lot. Great, blah, 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 blah. And then this person just like clearly like something ain't right. It's sending off red flags to our other artists. And then finally I'm just like, hey, can you send me your best work? And now keep in mind, the thing in their portfolio was, it looked like an episode of One Piece when One Piece like pops off on their animation. It was beautiful animation. And I'm like, can you send me your best stuff? And of course, they don't send me that clip. They send a random NFT Bored Ape image slapped on the body. The body's like,
yeah,
and it looked like clip art that like a 5-year-old would throw together.
Yeah,
no offense to people who maybe are learning animation, but you get where I'm going.
But this is the thing. This is like someone learning animation. This isn't an animator.
Yeah.
This is someone learning animation or even did AI.
Yeah, and it's like, because if you made this, you would have never in a million years sent me that.
Well, remember, I had to dig up their Instagram because I clicked on their profile and like they had changed their name and it was like that Instagram profile no longer existed.
Yep.
So I literally had to like full on Google search, like deep dive into finding this person again. And like you said, they were like, oh yeah, they've taken off all that artwork.
Once we called them out, they took it down and it was to the point where it's like, okay, this person's scamming. So it was like, I want to see the work you've done now.
Yeah.
Show me what you've done for the past 2 weeks. Bad. And it was like, oh, I'm not at my computer. I can send it in the morning. And it's like, okay, all right, that's fine. Wait till the morning. And now it's, I'll show you later. Trust me. And it was like, no.
Dude, trust me.
So it's like, absolutely not. So at this point, we've done digging. It's been 24 hours. Everybody's kind of like, what is happening here? And our other artist, Audrey, finds on their Instagram a shirt design, does a reverse image search, finds a person on Fiverr with a completely different name. Now at this point, I've submitted like a dispute to PayPal because we're talking thousands of dollars. Like this was not a cheap amount of money.
And at this point, we've been like working on this thing for 5-ish months.
Yeah, that
at
sounds
this point
about right.
to get
5,
like the
months,
animation kind of moving.
And so we're disputing through PayPal. Of course, this scammer is now starting to gaslight. They're getting very defensive. Like, just trust me. No, blah, 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 blah. And at this point now, I have contacted the person on Fiverr and been like, hey, like your art, question for you. Is this you? And they're like, no, I don't. Yeah. I don't make my art anywhere other than Fiverr. And it was like, okay, that's all I need to hear. Yep. At that point, I screenshot. I obviously send that to PayPal to prove the scam. I send it to the scammer. And at this point, she goes completely 180 from gaslighting and like attack mode to just begging for forgiveness. Please, please revoke the thing. PayPal, like I'll pay you back in increments like this. It's like, you have admitted to scamming because at this point they've admitted.
I'm sorry I scammed you. Can you do me a solid here though?
It's like you're literally stealing art, you're stealing animation, you're pawning it off on your own, you're scamming people, and it's like, again, clearly has some very, very basic knowledge around animation, at least to some degree. But like, that doesn't give you the right to completely forge your entire portfolio to try and get a job,
right? Especially
when you're pawning the art off, pretending like it's yours.
Well, what I even asked him, I was like, "Did you ever even have a phone call with this girl?" He was like, "I don't think so." And I was like, "I'm going to tell you right now, don't even think that's a girl." I'm like, I would not be surprised if it's just a team of scammers.
Yeah,
probably. And that's what they do. Like, it's the same thing with, like, phone call scams. Like, it's always, like, I would tell you right now, the whole profile is fake. That's not the person behind the screen.
I think we've learned a lot that, like, I think the problem is that we, as we've kind of grown the channel, like, we're fairly trustworthy, trusting people.
We're willing to give people shots.
And it's worked in a lot of instances, right? As the example of, like, Mookie being, somebody that replied just from a Discord ping of like, hey, we're looking for artists. Anybody do art?
Well, I mean, for us, the want goes as far as like ability, right? Like we want to give people the opportunity to learn to be better at like what they're doing for us, along with like, but I mean, like we've hired plenty of like talented people that didn't work out, because they just didn't give a shit, So
the desire and want wasn't there.
I just think that there should definitely, or maybe I don't know. There were a couple red flags just from the profile he showed me.
Woman.
Well, I think that it's one of those things
I
where
called them out when he showed me her profile. I was like, these are the things that you need to look for.
Yeah.
But the other thing is, and he didn't look until it was called out, was her name wasn't even in the credits.
Yeah, well, that was like the red herring of like, nah, something ain't right here.
And I was like, digging. That's the very first thing that you should have looked for if she worked on a show
I will
like
say in his
that.
Again, it was a professional email. Like I had not really scoured the social media.
Some of this stuff they just put the animation house. They don't put singular credits.
Yeah, but
they just
she
put
was
like
saying that
who worked on it.
It was like I don't know. It was just I don't know. There's a couple things that.
Well, I could have sworn you had asked her if she worked on Incredible or Invincible, and she told you yes.
Well, no, it was in her portfolio. No, I asked after once we started to get suspicious because that was the point where we found out that her name was not in the credits, and that's when I asked. But by the time she took so long to respond that we had already found the stolen art on Fiverr at that point.
I think it was also I was a little fishy of her when she wasn't really ever responding to him. Like with questions that he had about the things that she was putting out, like things that she could fix or stuff like that. And she just would like completely ignore him and talk to Audrey instead. And like, he would just be like, hello, can I get like an answer to this? And she's still like, didn't even acknowledge
there was a few times
him.
I had to ping like 2 or 3 times to get attention. Yeah. No, it was one of those things I think because we've never worked with an animator before.
No.
It's one of those things of like, well, you're the expert here, right? Like, I don't know what the fuck.
Well, I mean,
and like when you see the small bit of animation she did deliver, which she did pump to us pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And it was very short. It was very, very rough. But it was like, well, things are moving. You made things move. So you clearly know how to do it. But then it was the 2 weeks prior of no updates at all. And it's like,
but that's the other thing.
This is your first, like your main project you're working on. Like you were paid a lot of money
when we
for this,
hire people, it's for 2 reasons. We don't want to do the job or we can't do the job.
Yeah.
And so when we hire for someone,
it.
when we hire someone that we can't do the job, like how am I going to tell you how to do your job that I hired you for?
But that's the other thing
to an
is,
extent.
How do you know she even knew how to do it?
But I mean, that's
like,
the risk
what
you
if
take.
someone else was doing
being
it?
trusted.
I know, but what I'm saying is maybe she is having someone else do it and then giving you
I'm not
what they're
disputing that
working
at all. Yeah,
because you guys have had instances like that before with like someone taking a job, but turns out they handed it off to someone else to do.
These guys can like confirm
after that
first meeting, I was like, this guy's sus.
Never again.
Yeah.
And it's just crazy how many people out there are like that.
But it's like
that was a different time.
What
what
choice did we have at the time? Like, like we were losing money.
And unfortunately, like it's just gonna get worse, right?
Yeah.
Because especially
AI,
with
man. So,
AI, right? If you can pump some shit in AI and to make the most basic ass animation.
I mean,
right?
that could have been an AI person as their profile.
Maybe.
Right?
Literally.
Yeah, very much. Yeah, true.
Well, even the things that he was showing me that she had on her Twitter profile, I said that could have easily been made with AI.
Yeah.
I was like, this literally looks like an AI.
Yeah,
like,
once we started
picture
like
that
actually
she's giving these
digging,
people.
I don't even remember how she would have gotten our email because I don't remember if it was a Discord post.
I mean, we put out on Twitter, we put it out
true.
on Discord. I think like
I thought it was from YouTube.
It may have been. I don't remember exactly, but
because I remember it was during that time when you guys had put out the ad or the job posting, and you guys were getting a bunch of people responding, and she was one of them.
Yeah,
and I remember that
been.
the Invincible part was the part that like set her apart from everyone else.
It's just in 2 months, bro. We got hacked and we got scammed.
Yeah.
But I was just sitting there streaming, like having a good ass
you
stream.
learn a ton, though. I will say,
like I'm playing a Ninja Turtles game. It's feeling good. We all vibing, having fun, and then I just see like in Discord in the corner of my eye, I think the animator scammed us. I was like. Of course they did.
I will say though, on a positive side, and obviously it hasn't happened yet, but I'm
don't
fairly,
speak it out in the universe.
I'm fairly confident that like we're gonna actually get our money back from PayPal because like I have literal screenshots of her admitting that she scammed.
Well, the person on the other end of the phone seemed like she really
she seemed
I got
like
a
what you
feeling
were
they probably
saying
hear this like
seriously.
hundreds of times a day at this point, right?
No,
where it's like
PayPal's one of the few companies that like they prioritize their users more than
100%.
almost anything.
Yeah.
Well, they're
Like,
making
that's-
money off of them.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
So.
they get a chunk of change out of all the transactions people do through them. So, you know,
it's the problem is like we do a thing where you have to trust the person until you can't.
Well, it's because there's
you can do your due diligence and still get screwed.
The thing is, though, we found I like the animation choice we moved to, though. Like I like the plan that we have. Like, I don't want to discuss.
Well, that's more just like an edited thing. It's not animation.
But like, I mean, it's still a better way to deliver it than doing that 2-minute thing of having a single person. Because like, even thinking about it, having to go like all the choreography that goes along with animation as well. Is that's not one person that can handle that?
No,
right?
it's
that's why it was going to take.
You have the animation, but you also have to. Have
that's why it was going to take 5 months to do 3 minutes.
Yeah, that's the thing. If one person can do it, it just will take a very long time.
Yeah.
That's why, like, right, like that was the other thing is she gave like an actual like fairly legitimate time frame.
It was like
that
3
made
months actually.
Sense. Yeah, I think it was like 3 months or so. But yeah, no, it's animation's crazy. We've looked into it, and we still would like to do it, but we'll see how the comic does first.
Yeah.
Very expensive.
We got a Patreon for the comic as well.
Yeah, maybe there will be an announcement next.
They're trying to talk me into voice acting.
We're close. We bought a booth.
Yeah,
we do have a booth.
There's a booth in there.
Yeah, give us your best.
That's what'll make me feel great.
You know what? Now, let's do your tryout live right now.
Yeah, we're doing the tryout.
Do like just any voice. Like, what's a voice you would want to do?
I literally could not tell you. I have. Oh golly gee! I have zero. No, when I was playing Epic Mickey, I would like anytime the characters would make noises like that. I would always like redo it and just like cringe at myself for doing it. But people were like, no, that actually sounded pretty spot on. And I was like, oh, fuck no.
I don't cringe at my own voice. Like,
I do.
I'm not sitting here like
can't.
I have the voice of an angel.
See, I like mimicking,
but like,
creating
I'm
a voice
so used to my own voice that,
I know. You listen to the podcast and I'm like, I could never. I could never.
Listen to the podcast to help fix it. Like, I have a little bit of a stutter off and on. And I say a lot. I say like. And those are things I want to fix.
Bro, I put on like
you got to get a rubber band.
Bro, I'll listen to people who
when you
have
do it, you snap yourself.
Millions of listeners on every podcast they do, and they're
I know, but it's
everybody
like,
does it. I get what you mean.
Right
it's
there.
Something you want to like work on with your personal.
Yeah. It's something I want to be better at, right?
I'm proud of you for growing as a person.
Yeah, but no, like I like to go back. For one, a lot of times, like I black out for this hour, and I just say I say what's on my mind.
You block out for this hour, block out for every goddamn video we do.
No. Well, that's like people like go back and they'll say, "Oh, remember when you said this?" Nope. I do not. I don't even remember what opinion I gave.
I click record, and the brain shuts off, and the words flow out.
Dude, I barely remember what we had for lunch yesterday.
Yeah, no, people would be like, "I agree with Boom this episode." I'm like, "Bitch, on what?"
Probably
I don't know what I said.
It's like, can you clarify, please?
You want to elaborate for me?
No, I got teased a lot for my voice growing up. And so now I just hate hearing it.
So now you get out of spite, okay? You got a voice act.
You love
and
spite.
Flex on those people.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I don't feel like I could ever be good at anything that I'm not confident in. And I don't think I'll ever be confident in my voice.
I think that's the thing is I don't think it's a confidence thing. I think it's more you just kind of like go in and have fun with it.
That's all.
But
I think that's why I like the idea of the booth, because I feel like if I go in the booth, I won't feel weird about just kind of letting it out and actually like doing whatever I got to do. No. But like if I'm at my house and like I know that Bree can hear me from across the house, I'm gonna feel I don't know. I'm just gonna feel weird about it. I feel like.
Oh, Ruff's gonna play a video game. You just hear Bree, shut the fuck up. The baby's sleeping.
Well, he's had me before, which his biggest struggle with like getting things set up in our house is always like audio, and I was always
audio is like
getting me
nightmare.
on audio.
We need an audio person.
Well, no, it was just also he was trying to fix my audio specifically, and he's like, we just need to record like sound bits so I can like adjust this. And I was like, I don't know what to say. He's like, just talk, and I was like,
oh no, yeah.
No, that happens when I need them to do it
you
too.
You just gotta write a sentence, and then everyone has to say the
But
sentence.
then he would like play it.
Yeah.
like constantly, and I was like, oh my god, this is like nails on a chalkboard.
No, I think like what helped me is I used to like listen to myself while I spoke, like it would feed back through my earbuds.
I did that for a little while.
I can't stand that.
And the thing is, I think I just got used to my voice, and so it's one of those things. Like I've been a professional content creator. Like I know I don't have a bad voice. I don't think no one has ever been like, Boom, you have the voice of an angel.
No, I've gotten like a lot of weird like compliments on my voice, and I'm saying I don't see it. Like when I used to do the voice lines for like when I would read the One Piece chapters, people would always be like, have you thought about getting a voice act? I'm like, fucking no. And now we have a fucking voice booth because we have to. Yeah. But it's like
cheaper.
But it's like my thing is like the way I see it is like whether I like it or not, as long as other people like it, I guess I can't complain.
That's not up to, because like somebody was like, you were streaming, somebody was like, Boom should voice act, and I was like, to what?
I mean, what it is I'd much rather have a unique voice than having a voice that like just doesn't stick out from a crowd, right? Like,
yeah, kids are mean.
No, but I mean, I think a lot of people are like very self-conscious of their voice because
you hear it differently.
You hear it differently than other people because like it's weird. Apparently, it's like the fat and bones in your head that make your voice sound different
to you.
Because like you're hearing more or less an echo of your voice.
Yeah. That's yourself. Always so weird is like you will never hear your voice the way it actually sounds.
Yeah, unless you play it back.
Unless you
even then when you record it, it doesn't always sound the exact same.
No, that's when it does sound the exact
same.
No, I like
you get what I mean?
You can add adjustments.
I've always had this theory though, like are you actually hearing it like that though? Or is your brain thinking like still like you're still kind of hearing yourself in your head the way you still hear yourself?
I wouldn't be surprised.
You know what I mean?
Like, or like you'll never see yourself.
Almost like it's an illusion.
Yeah.
And we're in the Matrix.
Tricks are for whores.
Or like you'll never see yourself the way, like physically how other people see you constantly. So, like you'll never see that. Like even on a camera, it doesn't look the same as that's like in person.
On
or in a mirror.
Like if I take a picture of myself, I don't have like a ton of double chin. But like someone as like short as Bree seeing me, like I look, like that because like they're seeing like us. So it's like the different perspectives of your face and like how you come across to people is like
Eric sees me like weird. All the way up here and you can only see like forehead down.
I'm sorry, I look down on everyone.
That's true.
Okay? He does.
Like
you should hear the shit he says about you behind your back.
Damn right, Billy. Damn right.
It can't be as bad as the shit he says to my face.
Good point.
But yeah, it is always weird to think about the way that you hear and see yourself compared to everyone else. But I guess like you're your worst critic, right? Well,
the
internet can be pretty rude.
Comments. No, we are not our own worst critics.
I think to some degree we are. Because I think like you're not wrong in the sense of like, yeah, we do get a lot of shit from comments because that's just the nature of the internet now, right?
It happens.
But like we don't get a lot of actual legitimate criticism.
No.
We get people that are butthurt and mad that we're not doing something a specific way, right? Like, it's like, oh, you're like, when we get the random comments, like we saw one the other day that was like, can you guys pause, when you're talking? Like, stop. I'm trying to watch a show. It's
Somebody
like,
said
then go watch the fucking show.
Yeah.
It's like, you're here for us. It's like, and
it's kind of rude when they say that. I'm not here for you guys. I'm here for the show. I've
always looked at it from the perspective.
I've always assumed that.
I understand wholeheartedly that people will never gel with everybody, period. End of story. That will never happen. I will never try to because it's literally impossible. But it's like, if you don't like somebody, in my mind, it's like, just don't watch them or watch somebody else. Well, it's like, I don't think it's messed up for me to say, yo, we might just not be for you. Go watch somebody else.
That's like I tell you guys, you might be the tastiest, juiciest apple on the tree. Some people don't like apples.
Yeah.
Yep. And you have to accept, like, if you're getting into this kind of thing, you have to accept that not everyone is going to fucking like you.
It's like we do get some valid like critiques and criticisms occasionally, but usually it's like, hey, like, the audio balance could be better or like things like that. And usually, unfortunately, those are usually decisions that are made out of our control.
Saying we talk too much is not a critique.
Yeah.
Honestly,
people are butthurt about the guns.
That just means we're doing a good job.
Yeah. Like, when people get mad about the guns and it's like, it's not a critique. Like you just don't like
that's what it's a preference.
Yeah. You just dislike the aspect of it.
I got a mic in front of me for a reason. I'll talk whenever I damn well please.
Thank you.
Hell yeah.
Thank you. No, it's like I've said it before. People are like, I don't understand how you guys do a podcast. I couldn't talk that long. I'm like, bro, I could talk this long by myself.
Yeah, you don't understand.
The fact that you guys are here is just a bonus.
I used to work in hospitality, bro.
We have to hold each other accountable to start filming on time, because if not, we will talk for 3 hours and not get anything done.
I say 400,000 words a day.
Yeah, probably.
You can't stop me.
Probably more than that. To be honest,
I honestly don't know at this point.
Between meetings, I mean, think about it. We commentate all through reactions. We do the podcast.
I would like to do like a word count.
Yeah, a word count.
Good luck. That would be so hard.
AI would probably be the only way to do it.
How do you do that?
No,
you just have your phone listen to you all day and just record.
No, because it would pick up other voices.
Yeah, that would be so difficult.
The average words
average words spoken.
No, I think I'm going to times it by about 3.
Okay.
I was going to say 10.
The average number of words spoken per day is between 7 and 20,000.
Now we're definitely well
so we're
over
probably
150.
hitting an easy 50.
No, I think we're hitting an easy 100.
Yeah,
that's cool.
I think that's crazy. So at least once a month, we speak probably almost 1 million times.
Probably more than that. Yeah,
Damn.
That's fucked up.
And Billy is a large part of that.
That's true. Do you think Billy is the word we say the most?
Probably.
No. Probably fuck.
Yeah. Yeah. All of my gameplay that's now fucking age restricted is.
Well,
yeah, I was going to say, what were you doing over there with those turtles? This is what you get for editing your own videos and not giving it to the editor who specializes in our fucking videos.
I'm sorry. I was trying to save work for someone. And I was like, well, I'm here. I might as well do it.
They want work. They're asking for more.
Class.
And he's over here scheduling it to the wrong tier. I'm like, fuck, this is one of my job. Like, I could have said it too.
Yeah, I did it all wrong.
I know. Every time Sean tries to do somebody else's job,
I just try to help.
It up. He tries to help, but causes
make it
more
worse.
work.
I told him, I was like, God damn it, I think he tried to do this shit all by himself.
It's true. No,
I was like, I gotta go fix everything.
Or like the other day, like they recorded some stuff without me, and Bree's like, they still haven't put it on the schedule. I'm like, tell them
last night, hey yo. Still
I thought Rob was going to do it because he was working from home all week.
You guys didn't communicate to me what you did.
She's literally saying we recorded this thing.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is, bitch, I know you were looking.
I would check, and then I would see that nothing was added to the schedule. And I was like, they didn't do anything.
I hate the way the drive works.
That was why I asked you, and I was like, did you guys do anything? Because there was nothing written down.
Yeah, no, we did a lot. That was the crazy thing.
Wait, so you hate the drive?
I hate the drive. I hate the way it organizes stuff.
We can change that.
I mean, it's not a big deal. It's something I dislike.
But
it's not something I actively
I'm talking about
think
the
about.
schedule, not the drive. You just throw everything into the video tab, okay? Somebody else takes care of that, baby.
Yeah,
my thing with trying to figure out where to put it in the schedule
I want to help.
is I feel like I'm just constantly just copy and pasting like the chart underneath another chart because there's always a video in the fucking slot. So like I was like, when am I going to put this out? Oh,
we do too much.
Saturday.
I'm telling you, we need to react to less things. We react to too many things.
So I'm literally just like, I just copy and pasted a new slot underneath the slot.
Which is fine.
Like,
great.
I know, but
at least it's there.
It just feels like there's three rows of slots now.
I will say this may be the culture couch, but this unfortunately that also means it's the vibes couch, which means it's the couch that's like, yeah, I'll remember that. Don't worry about it. Yeah, and then like 3 weeks goes by, it's like, what the fuck were we gonna do?
Because of all of the side things we do, we should have some sort of rule where like if there is more than 2 videos per day, there's too many reactions are happening.
Too many.
Because like, bro,
no such thing.
There's people who like can't even fathom like 1 video a day, and then like we'll have weeks where it's like, yeah, there's like 3 videos. Like,
no, bro,
every day.
I got like 3 or 4 solo series going.
Speaking
right
of,
now.
you know where you can get those?
Patreon.com.
You know where you can get this a week early?
Patreon.com.
And all those reactions that they're talking about that aren't on YouTube?
Patreon.com/sorta-stupid.
Yeah.
All the solo reactions.
Killing it right now with that ad read.
He just started Heartstopper.
You should be a voice actor.
Thank you.
What's on there right now? There's TMNT. There's Heartstopper. He just started.
That's a good ass show.
There's Dan.
I honestly don't even know what to watch anymore.
Uzumaki.
I like went through a bunch of random shit.
Uzumaki got like a 3 out of 10 from IGN. Like
really?
They're like, dude.
Apparently, episode 1 was a banger.
The premiere of Uzumaki is a piece of fucking art. You could frame the whole episode. It's immaculate.
I know that.
And then like after that,
crazy.
it's like the animation in episode 2. It's like, yeah, there's some weak spots there, but still really good. And in episode 3, it's like, uh-oh. So it was like I hadn't even watched the 4th episode yet.
Episode 3 was hard to find a thumbnail for.
Yeah.
It was a lot of it was interesting.
Episode 3 fucked me up.
Really?
Like episode 3, no, there are some like
It was really
like, dude, I was watching
disturbing.
episode 3 and it was like one of those where it's like I hadn't felt that way since watching like Terrifier, where I was just like,
it was
kind of fucked up.
I had to scan the whole episode to
Devil May
find like a
Cry Baby had
thumbnail
a pretty
image.
fucked up ending.
Yeah, I just scanned that episode. I've been having to scan these episodes
watch all
to
this
find
crazy
thumbnails,
shit
and they've
we're
been
watching.
watching some dark shit.
I give you some direction on mine, okay? My Harvey Birdman was just put
Could
pot
you
on
watch
me.
an
Harvey
entire
Birdman.
season?
Me and him were both watching like horror anime, and like you're watching Harvey Birdman.
Harvey Birdman fucks though.
But he also
No, like legit in the show. Like I watched the show, bro. They killed off every single fucking character in
Spoilers.
the show that I cared about.
I know, right?
Everyone. Like it was fucking insane.
Well, and I'm scanning these episodes, right? And I'm like, yeah, it's crazy that they say they want me to get into anime, and then they're fucking
So
watching
do you-
this.
do you-
And
That's
this
why I
is
watched it
exactly
alone.
So,
why.
do you mind if I spoil a little bit of Uzumaki for you?
No, it's all right.
Yeah, I don't feel like you're gonna watch this anyway because like it's such a
I
calamity.
was
what they've
gonna,
done to
and
this
then
thing.
I keep hearing more and more bad stuff
like
come out
don't get me
about
wrong,
it. So I'm
like the highs are still really high even in
Yeah.
the later episodes. So like Uzumaki, I'm pretty sure is literally just Japanese for spiral.
Okay.
And so like it's kind of like this. Spoilers, by the way. But like episode 3 is literally about these like pregnant women who like they essentially become like vampires.
It was so
But like
weird.
they don't bite the neck of like the people or anything like that. They literally take like one of those giant wood corkscrews and like jam it into your neck, drill into you, and drink as the blood is like spurting out from the neck.
Oh wow.
It was
It is
horrific.
crazy. Yeah, no, it's
Bro, I'm
fucking
watching
crazy.
Castle Rock, and it's not even anywhere near that. What the fuck are you guys watching over here?
Junji Ito
Holy
is
shit.
that man's got some dark
So, and let me
corners.
be clear: the first 2 episodes, he supplied me the image, so I was
Yeah.
like, okay. I still had not received
episode
an
3,
image.
I was like, I don't even know what the fuck I'm picking for this one.
I still had not received one, so I
Yeah.
just went out of my way and looked through it, and I was like, I had a hard time, like.
There's some
For
fucked
one,
up
I
shit
had
in
to
that
scan it
episode.
a few times because I could not really figure out which image to use because
Yeah.
it was not. It was a lot of. There wasn't very many good images to use, but I just kept getting darker and darker and darker.
Dude, it sounds like you gave her PTSD.
Yeah, it's pretty
no,
fucked up.
And
I
she's just
am
looking for
seeing the
something.
episode in my head right
I
now.
ended that episode and I was just like, that was a fucked up episode.
What the-
Like,
That made me like kind of nauseous. in a
yeah,
way.
no, I can see it. If you're not used to that kind of thing.
It was very dark. It was very graphic.
Oh, we
Yeah.
need to show you guys Terrifier, Art the Clown,
No,
baby.
I have heard
is it
that-
is that crazy?
I've
It's
heard the
pretty
new
fucking
movie
crazy.
is
like
another
apparently
level.
like I haven't seen 2 or 3 yet. But like apparently those were like making people puke and faint
Yeah.
in the theater.
Yeah, I'm good. Hard pass.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard the new movie was really, really, really graphic.
Yeah, no, like I got a homie that she got an Art the Clown tattoo from the 3rd movie.
Damn.
Yeah.
Impressive.
I don't do clowns.
She's a hardcore horror
Yeah, me
fan. That's my
neither.
dog.
Don't do clowns, Billy. Thanks for watching.
I mean, you could do clowns.
Don't
if
get
that's your-
scammed.
if that's
yeah,
your
don't
thing.
get scammed.
Don't get scammed. Consensually be with a clown if you want to, or don't.
Just
Subscribe to the
don't do it.
Patreon.
Subscribe to the Patreon.
Go
Subscribe
watch
to the channel.
Uzumaki.
Let us know if
Give
you
us 5
understood
stars.
anything that Sean said when he was talking about sports.
Yeah, no, no. What's crazy is like, Sean, we got no. I don't give a fuck. It's my company too. No, what's crazy is anytime I talk about sports, people come out of the woodwork being like that know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Like there are plenty of sports fans
I
out there.
really
They just
believe
never
you.
get the time
I
or
brought
the
it up
love.
in the stream and people went nuts.
Yeah.
They were
You-
like, oh my God, I
You
finally
and
get to
Grace
talk
should just
about
start a fucking football podcast.
Let's do it.
it. It would be so much fun.
You guys got to be there though. We gotta
Why?
we gotta
Why?
have you there. Just
Because we have to have
Dude,
the
you don't
people
like
who
to ask
don't
the
know
stupid
anything.
questions.
Wait a second here.
That's the
okay.
rule.
If we're gonna do this, okay.
Hell, don't fuck with me. I
It-
will
I have
start
that
this
It would
podcast.
have to be a fantasy league that gets judged.
I want to make a fantasy
that we
league.
literally judge every week.
I want a fantasy
Thanks
team
for
next
watching,
year.
Billy.
And
Sort of stupid fantasy
and
league.
someone
Sort of
has to
stupid
wear a
Patreon.
costume who's ever in the lowest.
What?
What?
I don't know.
I would win every year. I'm not worried about it. Be the judge. I've never lost.
Let me know if you're a Duck
I've only
fan.
ever lost one fantasy league, and that's because everybody got hurt.
That's a lot of confidence.